All right, welcome back. And today we're going to talk about how dating can actually make you more money and why dating is actually like sales. Dating is sales, and sales equals money. The better you get at sales, the better you get at selling a product, selling yourself, selling an opportunity, the more money you're going to make. Now, the dating process, in my experience, and I've also talked with plenty of people, it's very similar to the sales process. Like the dating process is similar. The same communication principles, the same psychological understandings are transferable to both. And both require a certain level of emotional intelligence. You need to be smooth. And the ones who are smooth, both in sales and in dating, are usually the most skilled and are usually the most resilient. Those are the people who have been through a lot of rejections. Those are the people who have been through a lot of hardships. And through those, they've been able to build a strong frame and a strong understanding of these skills. And at the end of the day, what we call dating or pickup or game is just communication, psychology, and economics. It's just that. Like dating is just communication, psychology, and economics. And if you're good at sales, whether it's selling yourself or selling a product, it's going to make you more money. You know that. And whether you own a business or not, selling is everywhere. Selling is part of everything in life. Even you going to a coffee shop and ordering a coffee, it's sales. You can negotiate. You can potentially have the barista give you an extra 20% more coffee because you negotiated, or maybe you can negotiate an extra thing with the coffee or whatever. And like you don't realize you can negotiate so much. Like even in a restaurant, you can negotiate having free water, stuff like that. So you're the CEO of your own life, whether you know it or not. And you have to treat your life as if it's a business and you're the owner of that business. You have to manage everything. And sales is a big part of life. If you don't know how to sell yourself to people, if you don't know how to sell an idea to even your friends or your parents, you're not going to be able to have a lot of negotiating power, and you're not going to be able to manifest things quicker in your life. And listen, you're always selling something. Even if it's just selling your friends about going to a cool event or a cool trip, this is sales. You know, the way you frame it, the way you introduce the idea, all these things, that's just sales. And more pragmatically, if you master sales and marketing, you're going to make more money in business or in any field. And we all know that business equals money. So dating equals money. Because when you get better at dating, you get better at communication and psychology, and you get better at selling things. Now, when you get better at selling things, you get better at business, at making money. So dating equals money. If dating equals sales, and sales equals making more money, okay, then dating equals making more money. Now, when it comes to sales, you don't create money. You take money from people. You're not the Federal Reserve. You don't print money. The only way you can make money is by taking it from other people, is by people paying you, right? And therefore, if you want to make a lot of money, you need to be good at dealing with people. Any business, whether it's B2C, business to customers, or B2B, business to business, at the end of the day, you're always dealing with people. There's always another human who's going to pay you, right? And so you need to be good at talking to humans, talking to people. You need to be good at pointing people towards the right decision, right? And that's a skill. So for example, when someone pays you, whether pays you for a product or service, whatever, well, that's a vote with their credit cards that your ideas are worth something, that your solution means something to them, right? And the only way for a person to pay you is, for them to perceive whatever you're selling as valuable, and for them to trust you as well. And the way you do that is through what you say, through the words, through, communicating the value of what you're offering in a positive way. And it's an art. Sales is an art. Using your words is an art as well. You can sell everything. And the only way to master that is by mastering communication and psychology. And if you develop your ability to attract and influence beautiful women consistently, well, there's a high chance that you'll also have the ability to influence other men as well, and even other powerful men, not just any guy, like bankers, lawyers, accountants, whatever, any third party. And from my own experience, learning about success with women has taught me a lot about how people think. And learning about how people think makes you a better salesperson, right? Because, you can't really have some emotional intelligence if you don't understand how people think and what makes people tick and how to appeal to people's best interests, right? And this is a skill, as I said. I highly recommend reading the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. I know it's a classic. You can read also Influence by Robert Cialdini. It's a really great book. But the better you get at sales and psychology and communication, the better you're going to get with women, and vice versa. The better you get with women, the better you're going to get at sales. I invested in plenty of mentors through the years, and whether mentors in sales, in business, in fitness, in dating, and they all taught me a lot about making money and dating. And what I've noticed is there are so many parallels. Like, it's crazy how much business is similar to dating. It's the same fucking thing, right? And if you treat your dating life as a funnel and you understand that it's all about funneling the right people into your life and about communicating your value better and marketing yourself better, then you're going to win in the game of dating too. And same for business. When you understand how to position your product and your offer the right way, when you have a true lead generation mechanism, like in dating, you're able to approach people the right way. You're able to make people come to you, etc. When you understand all these things, both in business and with women, you're going to be successful at both. And so becoming better with women will make you better at making money, 100%. And same thing, when you get better in business, you'll also get better with women in some way. Unless you're a geek. You don't want to be a geek. You also want to go out. The nuances I learned about psychology and communication due to dating are just priceless. There are things you can't learn in the classroom. You can't learn in a book, a course, a video on YouTube. There are things you can only learn if you go in field. Like if you go to a nightclub consistently for years, there are things about psychology and just street smart stuff that you can't learn in books. Like you're going to become street smart. You're going to become great at understanding some nuances that you can't just learn in books. You can't just learn through the theory. I've learned so much more in nightclubs and on dates about psychology than any fucking book, because it's just experience. When you have the experience and you put yourself out there and you socialize consistently, there are nuances and things you can't learn in books. Even if you read all the books on Amazon about psychology and manipulation and whatever, you can't learn that. You just can't learn some nuances, if you don't go out there. So that's one thing. So get out there. Don't be a fucking geek. Don't just try to learn things through books and courses and stuff like that. Get out there. Go to nightclubs. Go out. Meet women. Socialize. Build a social circle. And that's how you're going to learn some of the most powerful nuances about communication and psychology and sales as well. A lot of guys think, oh, but if I start dating girls, I won't be able to focus on my business, blah, blah, blah. Wrong. You're just not that efficient. You can absolutely focus on both, So that's one thing. I've been able to scale my business every single month while dating girls every single week, so don't tell me that you can't do that. And even my clients, take my client Chris, for example. He went from having his business make around 6 figures a year to now 7 figures, and he's aiming for 8 figures this year, all while getting 1 to 3 dates a week. He was getting 1 to 3 dates a week consistently. And last year, when we started working together, in a few months, while he was also working on his dating life, he grew his business from 6 figures to 7 figures. And now this year, they're growing the team and he's aiming to make 8 figures, right? So in a year or two, you can go from 6 figures to 8 figures, and you can go from not dating at all to dating at the same time. So don't tell me it's not possible. It's just a matter of prioritizing the right things and managing your time the right way. Now, another point I want to add to this is a businessman who sucks with women will always be less respected than the one who is also good with women. In life, my philosophy is that you need to be full stack. You need to be good at health, wealth, relationships, and happiness, right? You have different aspects, different buckets in life, and you have to be good at all these buckets. You don't want to be the guy who makes a lot of money, but who's fat and who sucks with women. You want to be the guy who's good at making money, great with women, taking care of his body, fit, physically fit, etc. And you want to have everything on point. You don't want to be like Bill Gates, okay? You need to be full stack. Don't be like Bill Gates. Bill Gates is a geek. Don't be a geek. Be great at everything, okay? Because even in business, if you have hot girls around you, if you have a hot girlfriend around you, well, you're going to be more respected. Wealthy men are going to be more inclined to hit you up for business-related discussions because they're going to perceive you as a winner, and they're going to perceive these hot girls around you as evidence that you're a winner. And so that's why a lot of business owners, when they want to make a big deal happen, they usually bring their wife or their girlfriend because it adds authority, it adds pre-selection, it adds social proof, especially if their girl is hot. But basically, winners like to associate with other winners in all areas. So if you want to be good at making money, be good at dating too, and be the guy who's full stack, who's smooth with women, smooth in sales, and who has everything on point. And as I said, the better you get at dating, aka psychology, communication, economics, well, the better you're going to get at sales, and vice versa as well. So getting better at sales is going to help you with dating as well. So if you want to get better at making more money, it starts with your communication skills, becoming better at communication, at psychology. And if you're a man watching this, getting better at seduction and dating is going to be the quickest pathway to mastering sales and also making more money. And I've seen this in my own life and for the people I've helped. When they got better with women, they got better at making money. It's almost like it's the same fucking thing. Now, obviously, you have a lot of broke pickup artists who don't have a lot of money, and that's because they haven't truly mastered communication and psychology and all of that at a high level. They just recite lines. They just recite some POA stuff, some cheap gimmicks. But if you learn dating how I've learned it, like learning the right communication skills, the right psychological stuff, then you're going to make more money. So don't follow these fucking pickup artists and cheap gurus, man. Follow the guys who make money. Follow the guys who like they understand like high status communication. And if you get better at that, you're going to get better at sales. You're going to get better at making money. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe, and check out the links in my bio if you want to learn more. And I'll see you soon in the next video.